From restless mind to inner peace, a simple guide to self-inquiry. Morning in the ashram began with a soft rustle of leaves and the hush of bare feet on stone. Arjun slipped into the hall, his mind a crowded bazaar of deadlines, doubts, and family tensions he couldn't mend. He had come seeking a method to still the tossing mind, a technique worthy of the complexity of his pain. Yet the sage on the couch simply looked at him with a gaze that seemed to empty noise without a word. When Arjun finally asked, "How do I find peace in this world of pressure?" the reply was gentle. Find who it is that feels the pressure. Trace the I to its source. In that stillness, peace is what remains. Arjun wanted steps, rituals, a precise ladder to climb. He thought stillness would arrive like a victory after effort, but each time he voiced a new method, the sage turned the lamp inward. You are awareness. Give up being aware of other things and pure awareness alone shines. Arjun tried to argue that work, family and city life left no room for inwardness, but the answer dissolved his protest. Work and wisdom are not in conflict. Keep the current of remembrance while you work. Let haste go. Be deliberate. He was told to begin the day with 3 small shifts: pause before speech, taste each meal without a screen, and offer 1 small kindness. And to end the day with 5 quiet minutes, letting the mind rest in the feeling, I am, allowing thoughts to pass like clouds. By noon, trouble arrived as it always does. A heated message at work, a blame storm forming. Arjun felt anger rise and his fingers harden above the keys, but he remembered the instruction. Take 3 slow breaths, then look to the one who is about to send the words. Who is the I that wants to win this quarrel? He deleted his sharp reply and wrote instead, let's focus on solutions. I can help with testing by 3 p.m. And to his surprise, his chest lightened as if a tight knot had quietly loosened itself. Later, on a call with his mother, he listened without interrupting, and when the old story of grievances returned, he chose forgiveness over victory, and the evening felt wider, less crowded by the need to be right. That night he sat alone with a small diya unlit on the table, lamp off, room dim. He remembered the story of the necklace, how a woman panicked over a lost jewel that had hung around her neck all along, and smiled at his own search for a self he had never been apart from. He closed his eyes and asked inwardly, who am I? Not as a chant to beat back thoughts, but as a quiet returning to the source from which the I rises and into which it subsides. Thoughts came, images of meetings, worries for money, hopes for praise. He let them pass and held to the feeling of I itself, without adding am this or am that. And for a few breaths, the I dissolved into a simple being in which there was no one left to manage the world. In the days that followed, life did not stop presenting its tests: traffic, targets, tempers. But Arjun noticed he suffered less when he remembered the still point. He walked to work, tasting the air, ate his food as food rather than as distraction, and helped a neighbor with a heavy bag simply because the chance arrived. He discovered that simple living did not mean owning nothing, but needing less. That high thinking did not mean clever thoughts, but truthful speech and the humility to pause. And that service was not a program, but the natural gesture of a quieter heart. When pride whispered, he bowed. When anger flared, he breathed. When sadness visited, he offered it tea instead of resistance. And in those moments, meanings replaced explanations. One afternoon, he returned to the hall. The sage was there, unadorned and ordinary, as a lamp that makes no sound while illumining everything around it. Arjun said, I expected a mountain to climb. You gave me a turning within. And the sage replied, there is no distance to yourself. Seeing the self is being the self. Remain as the awareness in which all thoughts rise and set. Arjun understood then why the teachings were called both the path and the goal. To hold to the sense of I is the practice. To be the self without effort is peace. And surrender and inquiry are one door seen from two sides. Either offer all doership to the higher, or find the doer, and it disappears in the heart. He left the hall without fanfare, walking the same road, but with lighter steps. His problems had not been erased, but their power to possess him had faded, like shadows losing substance in noonlight. The world, he learned, appears and vanishes as pictures on a screen, while the screen itself never moves. To live purposefully is to live as that unmoving clarity, while letting the pictures play as they will. And in this ordinary day, simple food, honest words, one kindness, 5 quiet minutes, Arjun discovered a life that was happy without noise, peaceful without retreat, and purposeful without pride. A life woven by the quiet thread that had always run through the center of his being. So, dear listener, when life feels heavy, remember this essential teaching that peace is not something you achieve, it's something you return to. When the world gets loud, ask yourself, who is listening to the noise? Rest there, breathe there, and let that stillness guide your next step.